people. I didn't even... You wouldn't be allowed to chain an animal like that. Screaming. Yelling, screaming, shouting. Now I'm scared. It's a lot of people. So I was pushed into the room and the guard slammed the heavy steel door behind me. It sent a shiver up my spine, and I really felt locked in for the first time. I felt claustrophobic. And the only space in the room was a space between everybody's feet. The floor was covered in so many years of grease and human sweat that it felt like it was covered in rubber. I'd never know what's happening to my life. And then the judge says there was an organisation at play. Everything had to go through the guards, even your drinking water.
I'm thirsty. Can I have some water? Money.
The only thing I had was a pair of shoes. So now I had enough money for a little while. Each guard controlled his business interests, and you had to play by their rules. You had to walk the line. The guards had several swift ways of dishing out justice. One day, more guards than normal came upstairs. They called for one of the prisoners to come out. This prisoner had allegedly brought in some drugs. He's got his hands together and he's pleading with them. They just started kicking him in the face. The guards were sending a message. This is what will happen to you if you don't comply. If you want to do anything in this prison, you will come through us. It was a sharp education. They were as bad as any of the prisoners in there, or worse. My whole tactic was to try and find a way to fit in. I didn't speak any Thai at the time. I had no language skills whatsoever. I play a bit of guitar. Said,
"Hey, you, come."
Why you're here?
I said, I didn't understand what they were going to do, and they did.
Hi, it's me.
You're here anyway. We'll find a way for you to be valuable. I don't know what they liked about me. I guess I was just a novelty. It wasn't any more than that. I knew I was going to tap into this new group. I was going to find a way. I'd find a way to be valuable. It was just another sales job now. Sure enough, this group would sell drugs to other foreigners in the Thai prison. The guards would let them run because they were pulling in lots of money. Suddenly I'm in a cell with satellite television, a shower, and 6 people in it. It was the ultimate luxury. And if that meant that these people around me were going to sell heroin, so be it. Did it bother me? Not in the slightest. None of us were here for being choir boys. It wasn't a risky endeavour because the people who were enforcing the rules were involved. And that worked really well. For years. Some people had moved along and Suddenly I became the guy. Business was booming, and all I did was sit back and coordinate. I didn't actually have to get my hands dirty. I just had to tell people what they were going to do, and they did.
Hey, it's me.
We pretty much ran the joint. We decided to do a little rebuilding, and we did our own little development. We put up a new row of what we called our condominiums. And we had nice tiles on the floor and hot and cold running shower. We had every console that we could get, the best chocolate, ice cream, whatever you wanted. We had a great time, considering that we couldn't get out of prison. I began to see that I could live this way for a fairly long time.
Thank you very much. I've got a little something for you. Come with me.
I always looked after the guards.
Friday as well. I know you work hard, and because of that, just got a little something to say thanks as well.
But the problem was, you could never look after every guard. All of a sudden, out of the blue one day, everything comes crashing down. I didn't understand what was going on.
ทำไมนะทอกคนนี้ช่วงใดที่มากกว่าฉันล่ะ
I simply got too high profile. He said,
You're going to คลองพาย
my heart ran cold. Klong Pai prison was a prison up in the mountains on the way out to Korat. Apparently, this is where they sent the uncontrollables, the crazies. It's where they sent the absolute trash. He said,
คนจองไทยเน่เน่
you're dead for sure. It wasn't just a matter of having the shackles back on. It was having everything taken away. I'd spent 10 years getting organised and building up stuff and having contacts. I had to go back to absolute zero again. It was terrible. Out of this place in the mountains, anything could happen. At arrival, the guards were giggling. They were thrilled with what was about to happen. I noticed some prisoners who had tattooed faces. I said, who are they? And they said, oh, that's the samurais. A junkie who's HIV positive and he'll never live to get out of prison. So he makes his living in prison by doing whatever's necessary. Whether that's killing somebody or whatever he needs to do. I knew I'd have to defend myself every single day in this new. I couldn't make anything work at this prison. The situation was just starting to fade. They told me, you're dying. The next day, Habib was there again. He would keep saying over and again, totally changed the way that I lived. Having a structure. "63 days. I missed 22 years by 2 days. I don't think in any way, shape or form that I've been hard done by. Now there's a chance that I can have seen. But one thing is an absolute certainty. I'll never be a criminal again.